Let's see. Let's see. Got my levels right. Let me see something. Make sure my levels are right, guys. Just give me a second.
Expedia.
Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check.
All righty. So we're all good to go, man. So what's up, guys? Well, how y'all doing today, man? I hope y'all having a good Thursday. There's some things I've been wanting to talk about, some stuff I've been building up to talk about. Of course, we got the video dropping at 2:00, the short video. That's going to be a good video. That was some very insightful stuff I came across that I wanted to share with you guys. Um, but yeah, man, as y'all come in, hit the like button. If you watch this on the replay, hit the like button. Comment your thoughts on this subject. There's a lot going on with modern men right now. And there's some guys we need to examine that are going to kind of give validity to what I'm saying. Some examples. I got some points. Also, we got to talk about this as well. And we're going to get into that right now. So I don't know if you guys are feeling the same things I'm feeling. Maybe I'm just a little bit off. I could be a little bit off. But it just seems like we're divided at every level. It seems like in relationships, like just recently, just count all the marriages and the relationships that are breaking up. We're divided. And let me get this off the screen real fast. And also, let me turn this laptop off. I mean, this TV off. Probably hurting my connection. So many things going on at the same time. I got my phone over here, my phone over there. So hopefully that is a little bit better. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. So let's get back into it, man. So everything and everyone feels so divided at the moment. I don't know if it's just me. I could be way off. But in my opinion, from my observation of the current society, we are divided. And it's never a partial divide. It's always an extreme divide. People got to go to the extremes to do certain stuff. You look at the state of relationships and marriage today. I mean, guys, recently there's been divorces and breakups happening. And of course, all these are celebrities, of course. But look at it even in your own life. A lot of people are breaking up and getting divorces. What is going on right now? There has to be something in the water, it feels like. Guys, look at Young Jeezy's getting divorced. Hugh Jackman. I talked about this on the past live stream before, and I think that one was called The Gen Z Perspective of Marriage. Iman Shumpert. And today, Anthony Anderson, who is a comedian, recently got divorced. And check this out. Check this out, guys. Let me move this a little bit forward a little bit. Check this out. So Anthony Anderson got divorced. And if you guys don't know, California is the worst place to get married and divorced. So I was reading the article, and in the article it stated that they were in a marriage for, I think, I want to say double digits, over 10 years. And in over 10 years in California, that's child support, that's spousal support. So he's paying 20K a month to a woman he's not even in a relationship with. That's lifetime alimony. They haven't set a duration on that. So she's going to get paid $20 million for who knows how long. Marriage, marriage, marriage. Right? That debate just keeps getting talked about more and more. Modern marriage, the state of modern people. Is it worth it? Isn't it not worth it? It's a hell of a question, man. But here's the other thing that's going on. And this is like a little bit of business and a little bit of outside news. UAW, which is an auto car manufacturer, is on strike right now. A lot of people are losing their jobs. It's estimated, I think last time I looked at it, they're going to have to lay off over 600 workers. It's probably more than that, probably in the thousands. So they're striking because they didn't get a deal. And if you look at the deal was absolutely delusional. They're talking about an increase in 40% pay, but they only want to work 32 hours a week. How do you want more money, but don't want to work the same amount, if not more? That doesn't make any sense. And on top of that, the guy at UAW files a lawsuit on the guy, or on Ford and Stellantis, and I forget the other one, GM, in the middle of a negotiation. Now, that is a huge red flag. That's like something you do not do. That's a cardinal sin. Whenever you're in a negotiation, you file for a lawsuit instead of talking it out with that other person and figuring it out. Yeah, they're gonna find a different manufacturer, probably out of the country, that is going to be cheaper, that doesn't have these unions. Because I get why they have a union. Unions are good for the workers, but people abuse these unions like they're doing right now. There was a successful union, like UPS was a successful union recently, but the UAW situation is completely delusional on every level. Then on top of that, you have um, the looming of a government shutdown. Like these people in DC, on both sides, and I don't care what side you're on, guys. We're not talking about politics a whole bunch on this channel. But these narcissistic uh, individuals in DC are running the country into the ground, don't care about it. Inflation's high, people can't find a job, and they're finna do a government shutdown. Meaning all the people that work for the government are going to be laid off immediately. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But let's get into the main topic, the main couple things I want to talk about. Guys, what's going on with these athletes, man? These athletes are crashing out, losing money, getting sued. What's wrong with these athletes, man? I know you guys, I recently made a video, I think a couple days ago, where I specifically went in depth on Kevin Porter Jr. Now, this guy was a NBA athlete, he still is, on contract with the Houston Rockets. He got an extension to get paid over $60 million. Guess what this guy does with $60 million at stake, with his whole livelihood and career at stake? He chooses a woman that has had her history of um, issues because she was an ex WNBA player. So she had her issues as well. She had a 4-year stint in the WNBA and then they tossed her out. They were like, we ain't gonna deal with this. And we're seeing this example with him as well. So with $60 million at stake, he goes to New York, get into an argument with his girlfriend, breaks and fractures her vertebrae, fumbling his career and his livelihood. Now, I read somewhere that he didn't plead guilty to whatever that was, and he got released on bond. They're not done with that case. He's done. He probably won't play in the NBA ever again, especially with his history with using Mary Jane. And then, like, with the going back to the girlfriend, did you guys know that he not only this wasn't the first incident they had? Recently or before, a couple years back, he rammed into his girlfriend's car. Like, what is wrong with this dude, man? You got $60 million at stake. You got millions of dollars at stake. You got the choice of women all over the place. But you choose to fumble the bag by choosing a bad woman and by being overly emotional. I want you guys to understand something. I want to ask you guys a question. This is a rhetorical question. What guy do you know outside of athletes that makes $60 million a year or $60 million contract guaranteed? What guy do you know in business that does that gets into altercations with women? I'll wait. You're supposed to have security. You're supposed to have people around you that handle that stuff for you. Your only job is to play basketball. When you're outside of basketball, you should be training. If you want to go to the club and turn up, that's cool. Go with security. Go with your fellow basketball players. Why are you getting yourself into these situations like this? I don't understand it. There has to be a screw loose upstairs because this has been a continual thing with this guy. It's not a recent thing. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, the way sports works, they give a pass on these certain behaviors because, if the athlete is that damn good, they're like, hey, we got to deal with him until he crashes out or does something that was too much. So that's one guy. Next, we have Eli Apple. Now, he is a Miami Dolphins cornerback. He was picked up by the Miami Dolphins. He's been playing all over the place. I think he played for the Giants, played for the Saints. He cost the Saints a Super Bowl run He got burned on one of them last plays. A lot of you guys, if you watch football, you know Eli Apple got burnt so many times and cost the Saints that playoff run that one time. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about sports right now. Maybe another time. Maybe another time. But Dolphins cornerback picked up because Jalen Ramsey got injured. And check this out. This was in the news recently. He got 6 women pregnant within 3 years. Now, the woman he recently got pregnant, she actually had the child. The other ones were, results of Planned Parenthood. 6 women pregnant in 3 years. Absolutely no discipline. They like what these guys are fumbling millions of dollars and just going raw in random women. What is wrong with these dudes? What is wrong with the plight and the state of modern men right now? Now I get it. People might say, well, these guys are young guys and they don't understand the plight of what they do. I understand that, but at some point you got to snap out of it. At some point you have to figure out and move correctly. Because if you do not have discipline, your kingdom is going to fall. And that's not a speculation. That's not my opinion. That's factual. You can look at the history of the kings that fell. You can look at these TV shows. You can look at the presidents. You can look at anybody, athletes, anybody in positions of power. I think there was a recent guy, a recent senator in Houston, or not senator, but he was a governmental official in Houston that was sleeping with somebody at the workplace. She didn't like it, or she went to HR, and it might have been a consensual relationship, but she went to HR, and now he's out of his governmental job. Reputation ruined, all types of stuff. All because he couldn't control the small head. We got to get to a point where we control our discipline. We have to get to a state. I know we got no fap and all that stuff roaming around the internet, and I get it. You shouldn't be, spilling seed every 4 or 5 seconds. I get it. You shouldn't be on the hub watching stuff consistently. I get it, right? But that urge, let's just be honest, guys, that urge is too strong for you to overcome on a daily basis, if we're being honest. So you might have to let one loose a couple times a week so that you can get in the right mind. This is some good advice for you guys, and it might be weird, but it's the truth. You got to recognize your own post clarity, your post nut clarity. People call it post nut clarity. You have to understand your own post nut clarity. A lot of you guys, this is what you should do before you go out to the club, before you go out to the restaurants, before you go out to that date. You know what the most logical thinking thing you could do to clear your mind, to be in the moment? Let one loose before you go on that date, before you go to that club, and you're going to things clearly. You're going to be like, these women aren't that attractive. This woman has a bad attitude. You go on a date, you're like, this woman is entitled. You're thinking clearly now because you've emptied out the venom. People call it venom. You empty out your sack, and now you can think clearly. It's weird how nature plays this game on us men, because when your sack is full, all of a sudden a skinny woman grows a behind. Her tits don't look too small. Ugly women don't look as ugly then. It's weird, right? Shout out to you guys in the chat room. Yeah, at least once or twice a week, man. Like you have to, and if you guys get into a relationship, and if you guys, are having sex on a consistent basis, if you don't do that, you're going to premature ejaculate. If your sack is full, you're going to prematurely ejaculate very quickly, and she's going to leave you because you can't hold it. Right? So that's one thing. I kind of went off on a tangent right there. But back to these athletes, man, because these athletes are losing their damn minds. I can't be the only one that sees this. So back to Eli Apple. He got 6 women pregnant in 3 years. Idiot. And on top of that, you guys, check this out. The plot gets thicker. He got a woman pregnant that has 2 other babies by 2 other NFL athletes. Let that sink in for a second. He has a child with the woman, and the woman has 2 other children with 2 other NFL athletes. She's the baby mother to 3 different athletes playing in the NFL at the same time. You guys want to know who the athletes are? So we got Eli Apple, who I'm talking about. He's got a kid with her. Geno Smith, the current Seahawks quarterback, has a child with Eli Apple's baby mama. I think he was the first one. And then you got Josh Jacobs, the Raiders running back. Could you imagine? Like she goes to an NFL game to watch one of her, I don't know. She takes her child to go see one of these men, and these men are playing on the same field at the same time. Like, how does that reunion look when you have one woman and 3 NFL guys? Think about the thoughts on that, the outlook on that. How didn't he see that? Okay, how did Josh Jacobs not see it, and how did Eli Apple not see it? Okay, she got Geno's child. She's looking for the bag. She's trying to get a come up. I'ma just, put the condom on and skedaddle. Or maybe I'm just not going to talk to her at all. Like, where's the logic in these men when it comes to dealing with women? Three different athletes, children that are all playing in the league at the same time. You can't make this shit up, man. And then on top of that, because Eli Apple wanted to Planned Parenthood the child, and she said no. She's putting out there in the news that she would pay any fines from anybody that injures or tries to injure Eli Apple during his games. She'll cover the fines for him. Basically putting a bounty on his head. We got 2 guys, Kevin Porter Jr., Eli Apple, choosing the wrong women to deal with and have sex with. Millionaires. Throwing away their lives, throwing away their careers, fumbling their bags through child support, because this next one gets even crazier. And um, Kevin Porter Jr. fumbles $60 million. Yo, that just hurts me to say that. 60 million? You're going to throw away 60 million. You know how much money that is? 60 million. I know Eli Apple's probably getting maybe 1 or 2 million. That's a lot of money. These guys don't understand the opportunities that are handed to them. Like, where else, what other job is going to offer you $60 million outside of the athletic arena? Unless you're a CEO, unless you're a business owner, you're not finna touch $60 million ever. Even CEOs barely make $1 million. Most of them make about $750,000, like 800,000. What job? Again, I'm gonna ask this question: what job out of besides the athletic arena that's gonna offer you this amount of money? As you guys come in here, hit the like button. I appreciate you guys coming in and listening to what I'm saying. Next guy, and I made a video on this. The video is coming out, I think, next week, so I'm not gonna go too far into it on this live stream because it's an in-depth video about this. But I don't know if you guys have heard about Xavier Howard, and he's another cornerback for the Dolphins. It was supposed to be him and Jalen Ramsey, which would have been a great cornerback duo. Right? They had to bring Eli Apple into the fold because Jalen Ramsey got hurt. But Xavier Howard, he got 4 women pregnant at the same time. Think about the child support on that. Think about the amount of money he's going to have to pay for those 4 children. I mean, do these guys not understand they play in the NFL, aka not for long? Like, bro, like, have y'all seen the Nick Chubb injury, huh? Like, if y'all watch sports, Nick Chubb had an injury on Monday Night Football where his knee was at a 90-degree angle. And that's the same knee that I think he messed up. I think before, I don't know when he messed it up, but that same knee, he's going to be in crutches when he's an old man. These guys are throwing away millions of dollars when they don't have guaranteed contracts. Their sport is highly likely you're going to get injured. I mean, everybody's injured by like week 10. Everybody's just playing through it, right? Quarterbacks are injured, linemen are injured, cornerbacks, safeties, linebackers, D-line, receivers. Everybody's injured by week 10. But yet these guys choose wrong women and throw away their money as if they're going to be in the NFL 20 years from now. You know what the startling thing is? A lot of these guys outside of athletics don't know how to make any other money, have a skill in the market. This is why you see athletes go straight into broadcasting, coaching. That's another one. They start their own podcast because that's just easy thing to do, easy income. But a lot of athletes don't have that skill set. They don't have that charisma, that personality to come out and talk, and people want to listen to them. Coaches don't make enough money unless you're like a college coach. You're working 60 hours, over 60 hours a week, of course, in high school, just to maybe get 50, 60K. Sometimes even lower than that, depending on what kind of A you're in. If you're like not 5A or 6A, if you're like a 3A, you're not making no money in coaching. Again, no long-term thinking, right? And if you know the plight of us men, it takes us a long time to build something. It doesn't happen overnight. Now, I get it. These guys hit the genetic lottery. They were born 6'5", running a 4.3, aka DK Metcalf. And so they have a skill set that puts them in a economic luxury, right? So they get to the bag a lot easier. But for most guys, it takes a while for us to build our money up. You have to work a job and work your way up in the job. You have to start a business, which takes a while to build up and get monetary gain from. I think, and what hurts these athletes is since they were the man their whole life, they have a tainted outlook. They have a distorted perception of life, and it's not going to hit them until their careers are over. Think about it. Nobody, you have yes men all around you, boosting your head up, not telling you to save money, not telling you to make investments, start businesses. Like, I wish the athletes would take a page out of Deion Sanders' playbook. Master marketer. Guys, he made over $4 million when that Colorado State coach made that accusation that, I take my glasses off, my hat off whenever I talk to media people. He took that situation, that interview, and monetized it, marketed it, and said, it's personal. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, he marketed glasses to sell, to throw it in that guy's face and to make some money off of it. Made $4 million in a weekend. Business mind state will save your life. So, there's one thing I want to address real fast. This is kind of, random. Isn't it ironic that the two guys that I talked about, out of the three guys, they're on teams that are in Florida. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about the Miami women. Those Latinas go crazy, I heard. Matter of fact, let me tell you guys a story about my ex mentor. He was an ex MLB player. Let me tell you guys a little story about Miami. And if you're from Miami, if you're from Florida, if you've ever been to Florida, Miami, Florida, let me know in the chat, and if you can co-sign for what I'm about to say. So my mentor, rest in peace his soul, he got drafted to the Cincinnati Reds, and then he got traded to the Miami Marlins. And then I think they were the Miami Marlins back then in the 90s. Now I think they're a different name now. He was married at the time, and his wife at the time told him that Us going to Miami is either going to make or break the relationship. Now, of course, him being a successful athlete, I don't think he won the 1993 Stolen Base title. You guys can look him up. Uh, him being as good as he was and having that much clout in Miami, those women, those Latinas, those gold digging women just flock to that. So it doesn't help that these guys are in a city where the women are attractive, highly attractive, and they're gold diggers. I mean, you combine those two things together. I mean, it's damn near guaranteed that these guys are going to fumble somebody's going to fumble something. A bag, a child, a pregnancy. Crypto runner, 80% of the women want 20% of the men. Facts. Facts. You know what's interesting? And I think I broke this down in another video before. The genius thing that America did to contain women's 80-20 rule was to create the middle class. When you create the middle class and you have guys have easy access to good jobs and homes and all this different types of stuff, now the average guy can get a relationship. He can get a decent woman. He probably won't get the most attractive woman, but he'll at least get a woman. Now, since the middle class is shrinking, we're not investing in the middle class and we're becoming, more of the rich and the poor. I think, and this is just my estimation, and I want you guys to let me know in the chat. In my estimation, it's going to overcorrect into the 90-10. Yeah, men have to level up. You don't have a choice, guys. Guys, if you don't level up now, if you don't get in the gym now, if you don't get your money up now, like put the work in now, within 20 years, it's only going to get worse. That's why I made the video where I said, you guys don't have a choice but to level up. If you don't self-improve, your dating life is going to struggle. And that is not in my opinion. It most certainly is. It most certainly is. And there's no way to get around it. That's what the state of human nature is. When we don't have a middle class, when there's no um, middle class, there's no middle ground, and there's just extremes, rich and poor, women snap back into their normal evolutionary nature, which is to go back to the 80-20. This is why uh, America declining should startle you guys. Because once the 80-20 rule and the 90-10, all that stuff goes into effect, the government will probably be a dictatorship. You don't see it now because it hasn't gotten that far yet. But America is certainly declining if you guys have not seen it. I mean, the Rainbow Committee has infiltrated entertainment, education, economics, law, labor, politics, sex, and religion. And nobody seems to understand it or see it. They're too chipped by their damn phones. Yeah. Yeah, crypto runner. It's not. I don't know if crypto runner, if you've seen Ray Dalio's New World Order, he said we're in stage 5 of 6. Stage 6. is normally conflict, infighting within the country, which means it could be anything from a physical conflict to something. It didn't always have to be um, war, as far as like fist and all that stuff. Yeah, man, check that out, man. It's a very insightful book, and Ray Dalio has a lot of good stuff, man. He's a very insightful guy, talking about economics, and he explains it very well in his videos as well. I'd probably start off with like the his videos on his channel, and then kind of get the book. The book is kind of a long book. I had it on audio, but man, like the plight of modern men, no de-discipline. Um, they're picking bad women. Like guys, I don't think guys fully understand the ramifications of choosing the wrong woman. Like the wrong woman, the wrong wife will ruin, I would say, at least 20 to 30 years of your life. A lot of guys refuse to accept that. If you don't pick the right woman, you're going to be screwed once you get into the stages of marriage, long-term relationships. Wow, man. Sorry, man. I know it happens. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Hey, man, if it gets too bad, if the situation gets too toxic, you gotta wash your hands, man. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But it's just a shame that guys in a marriage, you get all the consequences are on you. Hey, no alimony. That's a dub. That's a dub. What state are you in? Like, what was the child support laws over there? That's crazy. That's rare. That's rare. Then you got to talk about child custody, all that type of stuff. Georgia. Hmm. Wow, because Young Jeezy's getting a divorce over there in Georgia. So was married for 7 years, man. This is just my estimation, and I could be wrong. I want you guys to let me know in the chat. Most of the modern marriages today don't make it to 10 years. Am I the only one that sees that? Or am I going a little crazy? Most modern marriages do not last that long. And the crazy thing is, you want to raise your children in a two-parent household. That's where the best situation for them to learn and grow is. But we can't just throw all caution to the wind. If you look at the state, or you look at the laws of marriage laws and family court, all these different types of things, all the things you have to lose in the marriage, it does make you think, make you have a double take. You're like, ooh, if this goes wrong, I could lose a lot. So, um, choose the right woman, man, when it comes to marriage. And the crazy thing is, women are so chaotic and emotional. She may flip the script on you, right? I think there was a study out that said women and their hormones, they're a different person statistically every day. Think about that for a second. Man. So if there's anything you guys can take away from this live stream, the way, yeah, you're right, crypto. Marriage does benefit women more, way more, which is crazy because like once if you try to get them to sign a prenup, they get all giddy about it. They're like not giddy about it, but they like are turned off by that, as if in a prenup you don't get anything. That's the thing, man. CTV. I'm gonna call you CTV because I don't know how to say your first name. I don't want to butcher it. That's the thing. CTV. A good man gets screwed every time. Every time. I was talking to a coworker. I had a coworker, and he was an older guy. I'm a young guy. He was an older guy, and we were just chopping it up about life. And I asked him about marriage and all these different types of things and how the marriage affected him. And he was like, "Dude, I did everything right. I was a God fearing man. you know, I took care of my children. We got married. I never cheated on you." And she still left. What do you do with that? And then once you get divorced, think about the psychological drama that does to your children. People start blaming it. The children start blaming it on on themselves because they're not, their brains aren't developed. They feel like they're the problem. Yeah, man. Women break your heart early. Women break your heart early. Women teach you about who they are early in the teenage years. Yeah, man. Don't trust. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, though, and I will say this, and I don't want to make this live stream too long, but women will easily jade you because the way they act, they're so fickle and emotional and chaotic. They can't help it, right? And I'm not saying this to downgrade women and hate women. I don't hate women, but you have to understand them. Um, they're so fickle, and it's easily to get mad and to get jaded at women if you don't understand them. Like once you get to my state, hey, I get it, man. Dating multiple women, it is what. Hey, man, hey, you let them know off the rip. We not doing that. No long term stuff. I'm dating you and some other women. And what's crazy is the women. Now, granted, there's some women that don't like that, but there's quite a few women that will shock you. There's enough women that will shock you that will accept that. But back to my point, it's easy to get jaded and mad at women. And as men, you don't want to spend your life hating an individual because they did you wrong at a specific time. Um, to be fair, we probably overlooked good women, good women before in our own lives. I could tell you guys a situation where um, the beauty confused me. I remember my teenage years. I was talking to this one girl in high school, good girl, very good to me, respected me, did everything that a normal woman would do. But me being a young kid, you know, I seen this other woman who was a cheerleader. She had more clout. She was more attractive. She was a year older, so it was kind of like a conquest in my eyes. And I dated that woman, and that woman, did me wrong. So in that instance, I could say, well, I kind of deserved that. Um, I neglected a good woman for a bad one. Yeah, yeah, crypto. They give up on women entirely, and that's not a and they're just lying to themselves. I mean, guys, ain't you want to date women? Let's just be honest about it. You want to date women, you want to have sex with women, you want to be in a relationship. Some of you guys want to be in long-term relationships. Some of you guys want to be bachelors. Whichever route you take, you want women. It is what it is. Like, let's not kid ourselves, because that's where these incels go crazy. There's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. Women is not yours, it's just your turn. Most women, that's true. Now there is a portion of women, I've seen it in my own life and I've seen it with other people. If you choose the right woman, y'all will be fine. But you have to choose right. And the person, and not only do you have to choose right, you have to be able to vet them properly and see them, as far as like identify them, which is a skill set in itself. And the woman that's probably going to be good for you long term isn't going to be a long term, isn't going to be an IG model. She's probably not going to have the biggest tits, the biggest butt. She's probably going to look like a plain Jane, right? If we're being honest, it's the woman that's going to treat you right. It's never the woman that's a 10. It's never a woman that's highly attractive, a model. It's always that woman that's in that 6 to 8 range. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't. When it comes, if I ever get into a long term relationship, a 9 or a 10, these Instagram models, these entertainers, all these different types of things, that won't even be on my radar. Ain't no way in hell. Like you said, it's probably gonna be a good 7 or a good 8, right? But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Earlier, and I just want to touch on this before because you guys weren't all in here. Um, Everything and everyone just seems so divided right now in the West. Like relationships, marriages are breaking up at an all-time high right now. You got the UAW auto strike right now, completely idiotic and unreasonable. The government's probably going to shut down soon. Like, we're divided at every end right now. And they're going to shut down in the midst of inflation, people losing jobs. Like, the people on Capitol Hill, man, and I don't care what side you guys are on. I just want you guys to be informed and make the best decision that you think is possible. Don't just go along with what people are saying and what the media is saying, because all of them are lying to you, right? They're all lying to you, trying to push a certain narrative. So I don't really care if you're left or right. But both of them are being narcissistic and uncompromising at a time where we need to work together. Like, crazy, crazy. They're running the country into the ground and don't give a damn about it. Hmm. So CTV, you're a woman? I just want to clarify. Let me know in the chat that you're. I can't really see your profile picture. It's kind of too small. I got you. She got the pronouns up there. Maybe. Like, how old are you? Crypto's right. How old are you, CTV? You ain't got to tell it exactly, but you got to just put like over 25 or something like that. You ain't got to put your whole business out there. I know y'all. I know women get defensive when they talk about age and weight and all that stuff. Damn, I know that stuff like that happens. Guys get into marriages and get into sexless marriages with their wives, and they have to go cheat. That's weird, man. Yeah, yeah, you made the right decision. But I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like, if you're a good woman today and you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to get a relationship, you're not trying to be promiscuous. There's one thing you're gonna have to realize. We live in a society where men aren't cultivated properly, so they don't know how to be men. Disciplined, hardworking, not in the gym. Guys are the most skinniest, the most less testosterone we've ever seen right now. So we got to talk about that too, man. Like, if you're a good woman, good luck finding a good man because we don't cultivate strong men in this society. We beat down men and masculinity so much that uh men are just like, screw it. I'm gonna play video games and watch the hub. Like guys like me and a couple other guys, the good guys, we're trying to build something and cultivate a good life, but some guys don't give a shit about that. That's true too. So if you're young, I wouldn't, let's just be real about it. Women should date older men. They have their stuff together more times than not. They're more mature. Very rarely are you going to find a woman or find a guy that's in your age range, in your 20s, that is on your same level. So you're not wrong for going for the 31-year-old guy. Just choose the right one. That's the thing. Yep, in the gym. So yeah, yeah. Facts. Amari TV. The food right now, GMO, McDonald's, fast food has so many damn hormones in it. Like your testosterone is going to plummet just from the food intake. Yeah, CTV. Just keep your head down, focus on you. Somebody will come around. But just be aware. And I tell men and women this, or people in my own life, um, it might not be the most attractive person. Not saying it's going to be an ugly person, but good people show up in mysterious ways. It might not be how you want it to be. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys coming in here and socializing and fellowshipping with you guys so we can chop it up and talk about life, relationships, government. It don't matter. Whatever it is, man. I'll talk about whatever. Um, I know I talk about relationships and stuff more times than not. And that's just because the delusion in relationships is so high right now. You can't the content making that type of content is just so easy. It's just a new thing. Every day there's a new woman or a new guy saying something stupid that makes you have to talk about it or make me have to talk about it because it's just like this is the state that we are in right now. So, but yeah, man, we talk about other topics as well. But yeah, man, I probably Be trying to do a live stream at least 2-3 times a week. I got the short videos coming each and every day. Got the YouTube shorts coming in the morning times. So yeah, man, y'all be on the lookout for me for the live streams. I probably keep them. They'll probably be between the days of Monday and Thursday. On the weekends, I might get one in all season and all that stuff. Y'all gonna be watching football. Y'all probably not gonna want to watch me. Oh man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, we're gonna get up out of here. On the way out, like the video. If you're watching the playback, comment your thoughts below, and I'll see you guys on the next one, man. I appreciate you, CTV. All right, you guys have a good day, good week, and we'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.